growing. It is incredible. We've actually more than doubled in viewership since we started, and it's incredibly exciting. We are now on YouTube. We are on Facebook on multiple channels. We are on Twitch, and we're going to keep growing. And so it is because of you, the viewer, that supports this. Of course, we are not only do we raise money for comics who are out of work, but also right now we are kind of the only paying gig in town for the comics who are on the show. So throughout the show, the tip jars will be open. The super chats will be open. The way, if you enjoy the show, throw us a couple of bucks. The Venmo is at the top right of your screen. You can super chat or you can PayPal. The link on PayPal is laughfromhome.com. It's on the top of your screen. Y'all can read. Anyway, with that, we're excited to have you. Let's get this thing started. I'm going to introduce one of the other hosts of the show, another member of the Quarantine. You know him as the host of Idiot Test on Netflix, also regular on Chelsea Lately. Please give it up for Mr. Ben Gleave, everybody. Ben Gleave!
Thank you very much. Hello, Isolation Nation. Wonderful to be with you. I was a regular on Chelsea Lately back when television was a thing, back when that show existed 900 years ago. We're now living in bunkers of our own making, of our own choosing. And who knew end times would have so much ice cream? That's the only positive.
Yeah.
We're able to find so far. We've got a very exciting show today. I got a great celebrity guest I'll be introducing in a moment. But first, the third leg to our ray of sunshine. Please welcome our co-host, Chris Bowers, everybody.
Hey, what's up? Thank you, everybody. Hanging out again, drinking again, every day till we're out of this shit.
So, someone
still
is
having fun.
Yeah.
I will say this. I walked by the mall today. We took a walk today, and one of the dress shops, someone before they left had popped out the left boob of all the mannequins, and I thought, if this is really the apocalypse, and that's 10 years from now, that's going to be in the landscape, it's pretty fucking funny. So nice work.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, they're like, you know what? You know what's going to comfort people in a time like this? Plastic boobs, but only one of them. Only one mannequin boob.
Before we introduce our special guest real quick, Ben, I want to introduce both our comics. We have two comics today, two amazing comics. Jen Cobra's here. Say hello, Jen.
Hi.
Hey, Jen's here. And Joe Zimmerman, I think, just popped in. Joe, can you say hello to us, everybody? Hey, there's Joe Zimmerman. So we're going to have comic sets from both of those amazing comics here in just a few minutes. Comics, you can comment throughout this even before your set. And then we'll, Joe, you'll be on about 5:45. Jen, you'll be on about 5:20. And back to Ben to introduce our special guest.
Actually, before we do that real quick, just a reminder to all of our in-studio audience as well as our comedians, please put your headphones in because we're getting some feedback loop. We're not sure where it's coming from, and we want this to be a wonderful experience for everybody. So if you can do that would be great.
And we can also hear you. So if you're in the audience and there's noise or dogs or whispering, that all comes through. So you can mute yourself if you touch your screen and hit mute if you have to call your sister or something.
Yeah. There have been a couple episodes where people have slowly turned to their right and whispered something, and it's like you're still wearing AirPods. We can the microphone turned with you. It's in your head.
I feel like I'm the one messing it up because I can't hear anything. So
it might be you or it might be the audience members, because in fairness, audiences are usually not mic'd. So we
do you not have a way to mute them? You don't have a way to mute them?
We want to hear their laughter,
want them muted because we want their laughter. So it's a real catch-22. Normally it's been fine. Normally people have been able to control their own noise. Not everybody can do that. Hello to those noisemakers. Hello to our audience. The social distancing social club is taped before a live video audience.
That's brave to leave everybody's mic up. You guys are brave.
And by the way, we get there is a barrier of entry of $10, which does help. But
okay, fair enough.
Wouldn't it be amazing if I don't know if I'd have a YouTube channel if you were able to mute audience in real life. If you could just right? If someone talks shit and I could just be bam, that would be. I think I'd be a very different comic than I am right now.
There's a lot of good stuff about this virtual world. There just really is.
Yeah.
Hey, school shootings have stopped. It's done. It's not happening.
Solved it. Sure.
Mother Nature took care of it. Boom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, is this what happened when we kept saying thoughts and prayers? Fuck, we should have been more specific. There a special guest.
Did you guys ever see that Disney movie, The Sword and the Stone?
No.
Okay, so in The Sword and the Stone, it's a cartoon. It came out in like the 70s. It was a Disney movie. But in the cartoon, Merlin, the wizard Merlin, gets in a fight with this evil witch chick named the Marvelous Madam Mim. So they have like a wizard off where they keep like transforming into bigger things to hurt each other. And at the end, Madam Mim becomes this huge dragon. I'm not kidding y'all. This is the fucking scariest dragon you've ever seen. And you're like, how is Merlin going to beat her? And Merlin becomes a fucking germ and makes her sick and wins the whole fucking thing. Disney told us about this in 1977. And it listened. No one.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so we introduce our special guest.
Yes, but first we introduce our audience members who are here joining us with their laughter. We have Carrie M. We have Sammy. Hello.
Hi.
We've got hello, Sammy. We've got Christina. We've got Carrie C. We've got To the Rescue. Empty couch at the moment, but To the Rescue will be back. We've got Stephanie. Hello.
Hey.
Nice to have you with us. Hello, hello. We got Julie G. We got hello. We got Tony Deerdorf joining us again. Taylor, hello. Katie, shout out to all of you. It is really exciting to be here. Queen Rachel looks much worse today.
Hey, playing the part of so Rachel, who usually plays the part of Queen Rachel, is off today, and so playing the I don't know why, because none of us have anything to do or anywhere to go. But playing the part of Queen Rachel is Jarrett Berenstein, who's a friend of the show. And
hello.
So Jarrett is now Queen Rachel today. So
yes, indeed.
It's good to meet you guys.
Hello, Jarrett. Pleasure.
Good to see everybody again.
It is really nice to see you as well. Mm-hmm. It's better to see Rachel, but you're a far second.
No one's arguing.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce our celebrity guest for the episode. She is a 5-time host of the Imogen Awards. She's a top 10 finalist on season 8 of Last Comic Standing, a commentator and host on The Young Turks. She is a podcaster, an actress, a writer, and you can see her currently as one of the stars of the stand-up specials They Ready, presented by Tiffany Haddish on Netflix. Please give it up for Aida Rodriguez, everybody.
So it's so weird to be called a celebrity. You know, I'm just a comic, and I feel it more now than any. You know, well,
Aida, in these times, if we've learned anything from Madonna, we're all the same.
I know.
So.
Oh my God. I saw that video of her. Someone posted it and I was like, who's this Japanese lady? I didn't know it was Madonna.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pre-apocalypse, Scarlett Johansson wants to play an Asian lady. Everybody's up in arms. Yes. During the apocalypse, Madonna becomes Japanese, and people are like, "That makes sense."
Yeah.
As that song turning Japanese, that'd be awesome.
Hey, I'm just glad Madonna's not Jewish anymore. So I'm just happy. I'm happy we don't have to claim her, because there was like that time where she was like, I'm just gonna be Jewish for a while. And I'm like, no, please no. We all got together, we voted. No thank you.
That was after she kissed the black dude that she dressed up as Jesus, remember? Then she was,
oh my God.
Yeah, she for sure wasn't Jewish that day.
Aida, before the world shut down, your Netflix special hit in when was it? Like October?
No, how has it been? August.
Oh, in August. Okay. Has it been different? Has it changed the trajectory for you? Has it changed people's turnout of your shows? What's it been like, or is it the same old?
Yeah, and then I got Corona. It was like, that's gonna be my new term.
From canceled to Corona.
From canceled to Corona. I was able to ink the deal for a TV show based on the comedy and the special with HBO Max. And then I got a deal for an animated series with ITV Studios. And then I closed the deal for a movie with Curated by Media. And then I stepped off of an airplane from Seattle and stepped right into a quarantine. So
stuff is still going on, right?
Yeah, well, we hope so. Like the world is changing and so many things are happening. We don't know what's going to happen.
The world can change. I need an Aida Rodriguez fucking cartoon. I don't give a shit what happens in the world. I need some animated Aida. Fuck.
That was what I was so funny that's what I was most excited about, because I can call on all my comedy friends. There's a world of, I wanted to do they wanted it to be Latino, which is what they always do when they ruin us. It's like, let's do the Latino thing, right? And like we're llamas, right? They're like, we're just people. Just some of us come from a different country, but we're just people. And we do the same shit that everybody else does. But it was really, that was what I was most excited about, because I created this world. It's an island, but it was just a fictional island like Springfield. And I was going to just tell all the stories that they try to tell about Latin people from that perspective of how white people will say. Like for me, somebody wrote in my script that I said, ay caramba. I've never said caramba a day. We don't say caramba. We don't do that. Only chato. It's just like,
andale.
Oh no, I've never said andale. That's so Mexican. They only say it once. They don't say it twice.
Speedy Gonzalez said it twice.
But Speedy Gonzalez was white.
Tan. He wasn't all the way white.
He was white.
Mixed.
Well, two comments. Latin people may not go, but Persian people do go.
Oh, yeah. I know Maximini. I know.
Yeah, exactly right. Believe me, I have a couple ex-girlfriends, and that sound is burned into my brain in a very bad way. Secondly, it sounds like you already got a pretty good agent, Aida, but if you ever need a better one, it sounds like Jen Kober's your go-to. I need a motherfucking...
I'm a Jew. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Jen and I have always had this adoration for one another. We did this storytelling show together, and Don't Tell My Mom. And it's just always been love. She's always been very supportive of me. And
how can you not love Aida Rodriguez? That's a big, strong woman right there. Golly. Woo!
From your mouth to the Brad Garrett room's ears.
Girl, you don't have to listen. Let me tell you something. They don't like women in that room anyway. You just need to be happy you're doing what you're doing. Let that room come to you. They will.
Okay. You look great, by the way.
Everybody will.
Listen, it's funny that during the apocalypse, that's what I call it right now, you, the lesbian, the only woman I know whose eyebrows are perfect. Haircut is, do you see the makeup, the beat down on the face? I'm like, how did you like to do that?
You know why, girl? Because I was so happy to, I have been in quarantine with just me and my dog since March 8th. I have not seen people. I have not taken one selfie, nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see people. Y'all, I almost put on a bra. Almost. I was not really, I wasn't really going to go all the way for you, but I did put on pants and a shirt. So
you look great.
Sleeves. You didn't get sleeves, but you got a shirt. So
you look great. But so, Ben, I'll tell you, one thing that it's funny that Steve is here, because Steve said something to me and embedded it in my subconscious mind. And then I was like, I'm going to do this. He said, you go on the road to get good. You go to New York to get great. And you come to Hollywood to get famous. And I already lived here. So I was like, I have to go. I hit the road. And then I went to New York. I became a regular at the Stand and at the Cellar, because he put that in my head early on. I did APCA with him like years ago, and I was really new in comedy. And he put that in my head. And I was like, and if I followed the formula, and then I'm not famous, but that is how I feel. But that's what I feel contributed to me getting what I needed, and the TV show came after New York and the road for sure.
Well, I'm so like blown away that advice had such impact on you, and I will say that if it weren't for the coronavirus, it would have been perfect advice. But I couldn't. So here's the real advice: you get on the road to get good. You go to New York to get great. You go to LA to get famous, unless there is a pandemic, and then you cannot be a cartoon.
I know.
So that's the full. You had cut me off when I said it earlier. I didn't get the full thing out, so I apologize.
Well, I do feel bad. Like I mean, and Ada, you're in this boat, but my friend Ryan Niemiller's in this boat. There's all kinds of people I know that were like, they're doing great, but they just broke through, and then all of a sudden everything shuts down. You know, it's like the University of Dayton basketball team was going to get a #1 ranking in the NCAA. They've never been close to that. You know,
Yeah.
The only thing close, I remember I had a buddy that was that actually was my ex-wife's boss, and they had a company startup. And the day the stock market fell, like in 2008 or whatever, he was in New York to take his company public. He told me that on the ground floor, it was a 73-floor elevator ride. On the ground floor, he was worth $350 million. And by the time he got to the 73rd floor, he was worth nothing. They wouldn't do the IPO because the whole market crashed in about 17 minutes on his way up.
Can I tell a story about that?
That's
Because
also very slow elevator. Very slow elevator.
Yeah. It was when I was in college.
This was in 1929, Ben. This was the first job.
Got it. Before your story, let me just say I've never felt so good to have not had any projects in development.
I know. What's funny is the projects in development are moving forward because what's going to suffer is the touring, because the streamers are going to keep working and they're going to figure out a way to get us in there to shoot shows. They're going to test us. Animation is going to soar. It's the live experience. We're going to be doing stand-up in parks and shit. Nobody's going to want to go in a club with 200.
That's why I'm glad I got a dog built-in crowd.
Yeah. I do need to share this story though. So when I was in college, my brother and I had this sports writing website. It was called Baseball Jerk of the Week, and it got a whole lot of notoriety, and it was starting to take off. And CNN did a huge feature on us, and the CNN feature ran on a Sunday, and we were told by all these people, like, you are going to be flooded with calls this week because CNN is running this feature on you on a Sunday. So enjoy this week. You know what that Tuesday was?
I can guess.
Yeah, September 11th, 2001.
Which was also your birthday, by the way, Steve.
Also, yeah, it was. The whole point of the story was that it was my 22nd birthday. Real great day, nice weather, not very eventful. It was that kind of everything kind of went to shit. And it was one of those things where, like, a couple months later, like, we totally forgot about it because we were New Yorkers, and a couple months later. Like, I don't mean we forgot about 9/11. I mean, we forgot about CNN. And so
never forget, Steve. Never forget.
Yeah, never forget. So a couple months later, when things were actually kind of back to normal, I was talking to my brother, and he was like, "Hey, whatever happened with CNN?" And we were like, "Oh shit." Yeah, I guess they were busy covering a different story after that, so then it never went anywhere.
Steve, is this too tough of a game? Could the game be a thing where you thought things were going well, then a national emergency ruined your life? Is that
Oh no!
This game, I'm gonna nix that game. Absolutely not. Saddest game. But
I will say nobody is as good at turning a tragedy on its head as the flippant delivery of Norm Macdonald. I remember one of the first jokes I heard after 9/11 that really made me laugh. It was actually at the very beginning of Comedy Juice, back when it was at the Laugh Factory, and we were doing a test show. It was April of 2002, and still people weren't really making jokes about 9/11. Everywhere you go, it's September 11th, burned into your brain, 9/11. And Norm goes on stage and he goes, I mean, what a tragedy. We're coming back from there. What was it, the 15th?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was
Oh
good.
my
Almost
gosh.
set on YouTube is hilarious too.
What'd you say?
He has a new Corona clip on YouTube that's very.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He
Oh,
performed like right before everything shut down.
Yeah.
Norm's the best. Norm's the best. So, speaking of, so do we want to do Jen and then think of a game through Jen's comedy, or do you think we should think of a game before we bring on Jen?
Think of a game.
We do Jen. We do a game every episode. We do a game every episode where the audience can participate. And like
I'm oh shit! I didn't do that part of the assignment.
No, it's not yours. Riff off of one of the comedian sets, and sometimes, sometimes we have it prepared. But let's have Jen do her set first, and then we'll announce the game after Jen's set.
Okay. I'm gonna bring the stage next. This literally is one of my. I say this every time, but all these people are my favorite comics. Jen Kober is one of my favorite comics in the world. I remember the first time I met her. She came to Morty's, hung out a whole weekend. It was so awesome. When I took her to the airport, I said, Jen, you're like the lesbian sister I never had, and I have a lesbian sister. So she is one of my favorite people of all time. Originally from Louisiana, she's now an LA person. You've seen her in a million things, movies, TV shows. She's all over the place. Give her my good friend Jen Kober. Let me hear from Jen Kober.
I'm doing a little sit-down comedy today. I had knee surgery right before the fun pandemic. So I've been seated. I can't drive, so I've been taking Ubers everywhere. I get in an Uber Thursday to go to a doctor's appointment, and the guy is like, the Uber driver is like clearly staring at me. He is clearly like looking at me like through the rearview mirror. He's not looking at the road. Not that there are people on the road, but he's very enamored of me. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. This is where it happens. This is where I get recognized. Can tell he wants to say something to me, but I'm kind of in my phone, whatever. We get to my stop. He jumps out of the car. He opens my door. He sets his hand out and he says, I just have to tell you, I think you're great. I love you on Orange is the New Black. So I said, thank you. It's our final season. Make sure you tune in. Which famous fat person you think I am, as long as you know I am a famous fat person. I was doing a lot of touring right before this, but one of the things that my agent just got me into is cruise ships, right? This is one of those things that sounds to all comedians like, oh, I want to work cruise ships. Comedians say to me all the time, well, how can I get on cruise ships? How can I get on cruise ships? Save your time and your money. You do not. I thought it was going to be so amazing. And I don't know if you know the average age of the American cruise taker. It's up there. It was like a lot of old people and me, which just wasn't my particular scene, because they talk during your show, right? They were, what did she say? And then someone would repeat the tagline to them. So literally the minute I get off the ship, I call my agent. I'm like, never again, please do not book me on any more cruises. And he's like, no, this time I got you booked on a gay cruise. I'm like, okay, because here's what I thought it was, y'all. Here's what I thought it was. I thought it was some gay ladies, some gay fellas, and then just like glitter everywhere. Only when I got there, it was 5,000 gay men and me. And look, there's nothing wrong with gay men. Here's the problem. From behind, like a fella getting greeted the way that they greet each other from behind. What I'm saying is I got Me Too'd on a gay cruise about 374 times. And I learned so much on this gay cruise, y'all. I learned so much. First thing I learned is I'm not that gay. I am not fucking gay. I really thought that I was a card-carrying member here, but apparently I am missing a lot of the costumes that are required to be a gay person. I saw a guy on this boat, y'all. First of all, I saw enough. I've seen enough to know that I saw too much. I saw a fella on that boat dressed as a dog. He was dressed as like, I'm not kidding y'all. Apparently, this is what I learned. There's a little offshoot of the leather community called Puppies and Daddies. And so this little fella, I'm not kidding you, y'all. He's wearing Speedos, a full chest harness, a collar, of course. He's a puppy. He's got on a leather mask with no eye holes. There's like a little breathing hole here. He's got full puppy ears. He has got paws. He has a full tail coming out of his ass that is wagging. I don't want to know how it's. Another grown man has him on a fucking leash and is leading him around the fucking cruise ship. Let me say this to you. I laughed at this grown. I couldn't stop. I'm not made of wood. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't stop laughing. And here's the thing. Because you will never see a lesbian dressed like a fucking dog. Okay? If you do see a lesbian dressed like a dog, that bitch is raising money for an animal shelter. Okay? Nothing sexual. It was insane. I really did. I saw too much on the boat. And here's the thing. When you take women out of the equation, men are nasty fucking pigs. They kept playing a video telling them to wash their hands every 5 minutes, right? They didn't even trust them. There were Purell stations all over the place. To get into the buffet, there's a little Vietnamese woman like putting Purell into your hands. Like, oh, you get 2 squirts, wearing pants. Okay. Like, it was the most insane thing you've ever seen. It was a lot. And I heard that there was something on the boat called the Dick Deck.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I needed to find that. So I followed one of the little Twinkie boys up to the Dick Deck. I thought I could just like peek behind a curtain and see what was going on. I'm not trying to like get involved. But he takes me to the back of the boat. We climb up some stairs and I'm looking at a window into the Dick Deck. Y'all, I saw everything. I saw things I should not have seen. And there's one little fella and I see him assuming the position. He's catching, if you like the baseball metaphor. And and he locks eyes with me. And I can't stop laughing. This is like, I can't believe this is even happening. And I'm like, I don't even know if he can see me, but he's clearly locked eyes with me and he is taking it, y'all. He is taking one for the team. And I am laughing so hard. I can't even stop. And then all of a sudden he arrives, he gets where he's going. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, thank God this is such a big boat. Thank God there's so many men here and I'm never going to see this guy again. Cut to breakfast the next morning. I'm just trying to have some eggs here in the corner. He catches my eye. He comes walking over to me and I'm like, oh God, here it is. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know. Okay, look, it happened. I'm just going to make a joke. It was an honest exchange of fluids. I don't know what to say to this man. I'm just going to like acknowledge it and move on. So he comes up to me and he goes, I saw you last night. Yes, you did. Where did I see you? I'm like, we were up on the and I see it wash over his face where he knows where he saw me. And he looks at me and goes, I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop staring at you. I love you on Orange is the New Black.
ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
One more time for Jen Kober. The
Thank you, friends.
tip jar is open. If you enjoyed Jen's set, please kick in a couple of bucks. It is how the comedians get paid. You want to throw in our Venmos at the top right of the screen. Also, you can PayPal at laughfromhome.com or throw us a super chat on YouTube. The very handsome Queen Rachel will be able to read those off as they come in, which, by the way, we did have Savannah Martin give $10 and said Queen Rachel looks stunning today. So thank you. Thank you, Savannah. By the way, Jen, two things. One, giving a new meaning to doggy style. And two, I
might steal that tag. I will steal
go for it. That is absolutely yours. Puppy style, however you want to put it. I have had so many people over the years say, how come you've never played a cruise ship? And I'm just going to play them your set. Like, I'm just going to.
It sounds like, oh, I'm going to get this free vacation. It's going to be so much fun. But here's what it is. You're on a cruise ship. So it's being locked with your audience, right? Like, okay, so I just performed. Yay, great. When I do that at a club, I get to go home and I never have to see those people again. When I'm on a cruise ship, those people are at breakfast. Those people are at the pool. Those people are playing shuffleboard. Those people they're everywhere. You can't get away from them.
Yeah. Those people have jokes for you. They have.
Oh yeah, girl,
they have suggestions.
Anything they've ever heard.
That was pre-COVID-19 when we didn't know they were also hotbeds to spread infectious disease any other place on earth.
I was on a cruise last year, my first and last cruise. I get there 2 days later, a code red. They had a virus on the ship. They had to quarantine almost 200 people. Oh. We were not allowed to eat in the regular areas anymore. We had to eat down in the deck where the people die first.
No.
Oh no.
It was the worst. And it was like the first thing I saw when I went down there to eat was a fish head. Like they had all these fish parts. And I was like, yo, what is this? Like, why is it? This is not this fish. They said, well, the majority of the staff is Filipino and the food down here caters to them. And I'm like, so they eat dead fish that are not cooked? Like, what the fuck is this? It was gross. It was the worst. It was I retired from cruises that day. I so scared that I was going to get sick.
It is tough enough, by the way, to do a gig like in like a casino club where you're staying in the hotel attached to the casino. Yes. And then like the next day you're running into people. I can't imagine doing that with water. But speaking of water, as your tips come in for Jen, and we have a bunch of them coming in, we're going to check in real quick. We have a pool correspondent joining us right now. Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, shit.
Kennedy joining us from his pool.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Jamie? What's up, Jamie?
I'm holding it down over here in Los Feliz area. Couple reports for you. A lot of joggers, a lot of looky-loos out there today. I don't know if that's mandatory. A lot of people. I don't know if that last jog's going to change much, but okay. And down to the light tuna only, you know, that chunk light tuna. That's where I'm at in my. I'm a little.
Yes.
We just announced I was going to go to April 30th. So you guys tell me. I'm just trying to hold it down in the jacuzzi here.
How is the jacuzzi temperature? Are you comfortable enough? Can we get you anything?
Yes, Ben. Actually, could you postmate something over?
Ben, if you could you send Jamie some light canned tuna? He's running low.
Get you some action. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna get you fresh sushi and tell the chef to really get his hands up in there.
Oh, what I would die to go to Sugarfish. The wait is not too long.
I know.
Well, the good thing is, if you do go out, you might. So.
The pool's sitting at a good 107, 108. Last time it was
nice.
94, Ben.
Nice.
Things are okay.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear you're pulling through.
I missed the great sets of my great friends, Aida and Jen.
What's up?
Yes.
Yeah, but Joe Zimmerman's coming up soon. We're going to have another set later on in the show. Jamie, have you been in the pool this entire week since we've talked to you?
He's a
Yes,
prude.
it hasn't my balls at all. The same kind of.
Yeah. It's just all
Say
testicle now. It's just all.
He gets in the pool. He looks like Donald Trump's upside down balls on top of his dick.
This is why you need to watch multiple episodes of the show so you get the callbacks. It's important.
I'm what we call a recur. This is my only recur at the moment.
Yeah. The TV's closed, so Jamie was like, I need a recurring role. We're like, can you be a pool guy? Is that
help me get my insurance, man? I need my insurance.
Yeah. A SAG eligibility is going to expire unless I keep working. So
has anybody on here? Has anyone here got tested for the coronavirus? I want to know how famous my friends are.
Ada, to bring the stream to a screeching halt. Jesus.
No, Ben should be. He hasn't been able to smell anything in a week.
I can't get a test.
Hold on. Ben, can I tell you something?
Yeah, man.
I had that taste thing on Thursday, and I started to have a mini little freak out. And this is going to sound hippie, punch me in the face. It's going to sound very Whole Foods, but I drank a lot of bone broth, and I've been down in that shit. And they do say that possibly could be one thing. I heard that a couple of other people had it and it went away after a day. So I had a taste thing. So I don't know how you're doing after the smell, but
there's actually another thing
bring it back.
No, the bone broth knocks anything out. I feel great.
Oh, good.
There's actually, by the way, there's another thing that's been going around. In addition to COVID-19, there's also a new thing called a common cold. So it is possible.
Dear God in heaven, if you exist, please do not let me lose my sense of taste when I can sit here and eat anything I fucking want. Please.
No, that's the nightmare of all nightmares.
Yes.
Vitamin D too.
Jamie, I've been doing the same thing, but instead of bone broth, I've been using whiskey, which is.
Yes.
So every time
I actually would love to try some bone broth if I could, but if possible, Jamie, if you could just bone somebody in that hot tub and send me some of the broth, that would be
awesome. Gross.
Playboy Mansion shut down 2 years ago. Pour some out. Great, wonderful, Mr. Hefner. But
so meanwhile, we got a couple of tips coming in for Jen. I'm going to read the Venmos, then we're going to go to Queen Rachel Jarrett Berenstein to see if we have some super chats. So on Venmo, Alexis Alvarado throws in $20, and I guess this is a friend of yours. Says, for my true homegirl Jen, been laughing with her since her speech class was next door to my math class.
Yeah, so right on. A math class,
awesome.
I'm sure I was failing, taken for the third time. There you go.
Yeah. But at the end of the math class, your teacher went over to you and said, I love you on Orange is the New Black. James,
you think
James
I'm young
Stewart,
enough for Orange is the New Black to have been on while I was in school? Good job, me.
The original Black. So Jane Stewart. Jane Stewart threw in $5 and says, double squirts for no pants. Loved it.
Yes.
And then Caitlin Coons threw in $10 and says, Jen Kober, hilarious as always, fellow hard to kidnap her. I know that bit. That's a wonderful bit.
Yes. It means she's fat.
Jarrett, anything coming in on the super chat? What do we got?
Yeah, we got some great comments for Jen. Heather Scott says, experienced the short hair, gray man, rear view disappointment a time or two. Thanks for the laughs. Angie Adkins says, if you were a tree, your new name would be Captain. After that experience, great set as always. A couple of funny ones I wanted to get to too. Rakesor said, sorry, Steve, I didn't know she would expose the puppy daddy thing in such depths, and I'm gonna need
That's hilarious.
Wait, what do you say? I'm gonna need what?
I'm gonna need the tail back.
Oh, nice.
We also had somebody wanted to do the game.
We're gonna do the game in a little bit. But
not
they want to do the game
puppy?
that we said we're not doing.
Yeah, they wanted to do the things that got ruined because of enormous tragedies.
Well, we might go to that, but for now,
Okay.
let's do
Well,
some
I
less
have
sad
it.
things.
I have it if you need it.
All right,
I have
so
I have at least one entry if you need it. I have.
We're gonna do a different game.
We're gonna play pin the tail on the puppy. I think that's a good one.
Should I announce the game idea I have?
In a second, let's go to some super chats first. Rakeser threw in $5 with that, by the way. Kyra M threw in $10, says awesome set. Jen loved it. Thanks for the chucks. Revel threw in just a random $5. Selena threw in $10, says my side hurt. OMG, that was great. Carrie Lucas threw in $5, says great set. Jen, hope to see you live sometime soon.
Me too.
Teely Witt says so polite about essentially being a high seas gangbang. Kofed. By the way, that was the name of the ship. Jennifer Kofed, $2 instead for Jen. And Heather Scott's was $10 Canadian. So thank you very much for that. And Angie Atkins was $10 as well. So a bunch of super chats coming in, supporting the show and supporting Jen. So thank you very much for all that. And Ben, let's do the game. What do you got?
Absolutely. Also, I appreciated that tour of your apartment, Samantha Pancol. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
no
much
problem.
Loved it. It was quite a journey.
Hey, I'm happy you came along for the ride.
I enjoyed it. Here's my thought for today's game based on Jen's set is for people to tell us about a vacation that did not go well. What is something that went wrong on a vacation? Some story, some mishap, something that went awry when you were on a well-earned vacation. You guys like it?
That is a wonderful one. So the way to play this, anyone can participate, whether you're watching on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube. Anyone can participate. It is free to participate. However, if you want a chance to win the prize and have us definitely read out your entry, unless it's real fucking weird. But if you want us to read out your entry and potentially win, and the way you win or the prize you win is you get a copy of all of our host albums, all 12 albums, as well as a free on-screen ticket to a future show. You throw in $5 or more with your entry, and it is the $5 game, and we will play it. We'll read off the best ones and vote on them at the end of the show. So participate all you want. And by the way, if any of the comedians and or pool correspondents want to participate, you're welcome to tell us your worst vacation story as well. I will start with mine real quick. When I was a kid, my parents took us to Cooperstown, big baseball fans in our family. We got to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, except my sister decided to feed a dog when my mother told her not to. And so to punish her, they grounded all of us on vacation. So we were on vacation. Had to stay in the hotel with no television or anything on vacation.
Oh my God, that is such.
Thanks, Sharon.
For helping a
dog.
It's not like she stole from a restaurant or a store. She actually helped the dog, and then your parents punished all of you.
Well, she fed the dog what was going to be part of our dinner, which is why my mother was pissed. But at the same time, and also my mother was like, "Hey, if you guys don't say who did this, we're punishing all of you." And the three of us who didn't do it were like, "Yeah, we didn't do it." And then Sharon was just sitting there, be like, "Yeah, I didn't either." And we all got grounded because she wouldn't narc on herself. So thanks for the vacation, folks. Does anyone else have one?
I got one.
Go for it.
Ida Rodriguez.
So I went on a cruise. I went on a cruise with a black guy who couldn't swim. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that. That makes me racist. But my ex.
It's not racist. It would be racist if you said that's all black guys, which you didn't say.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, he couldn't swim. So we went on a cruise. We went to on a 7-day cruise. He was trying to impress me. We had been dating for a while, but the cruise was like, I'm going to the NFL. And he was scared of the water, like he was petrified of the water. So he would not leave the cabin. So I ended up doing everything by myself on the cruise. Like when we would get to the ports of call, I went water skiing by myself. I did everything the whole time. He stayed in the cabin until we got back and docked, and I escorted him off the ship.
Did you break up with him right after that?
No, I married him.
Oh, girl.
I'm rigged for destruction.
Wow.
I like drama.
I love that he grounded himself on that.
It was, I was bringing him food to the room. You know, you get unlimited room service. He would not, he was scared to just walk. It was.
First of all, if you've ever seen
Cruise,
if you've ever
make
seen
resorts.
If you've ever seen
The
Titanic,
benefit of marrying somebody who's afraid of water is, you know, he's never gonna try to drown you while scuba diving in Bermuda. That's a positive.
if you see Titanic, you know that if the boat's going to sink, you don't want to be in the cabin anyway. That's the worst place ever, is to be trapped in the cabin.
Petrified. I just kept him high on Dramamine and flirted with everybody else on the ship.
I was gonna say, please tell me you did something on that ship while he was in that cabin.
Well, actually, I put on my puppy outfit and I want to.
Do you call me? I got a camera, please. Please. Bitch, you got my number, girl.
It was me. Can you remember?
Get another tip coming in for Jen. Joseph Cooper sends in $20 on PayPal and says, sending a little love from Houston. Love seeing you again, even if it's not live. I mean, it's live. It's just not. Not that. Jen died just before this broadcast.
This is actually happening. I am doing this right now.
Jen's actually calling out from hologram, which is weird. And Joseph and Janie Cooper, we very much appreciate your support. And thanks for tipping Jen.
Thank you.
Jen cleaning up with the tips right now. And Queen Rachel, do we have anything else coming in from the super chat?
Yeah, we got Jen Coffed donated $5 for Jen, saying Jen stick togethers.
Yes.
Together, singular.
Gens unite.
That's right. We also got for the contest.
Hold on to the contest until the end.
Yep, those at the end. Those are at the end.
Yeah, we'll do the game ones at the end. And also we just saw that the original. Give me 1 second. The original Rachel. The original Queen Rachel, who I guess wants her title back, it must be watching somewhere and threw in $5 and said FOMO, which is amazing because there's so little to miss out on these days. So it's nice that we have the one thing.
Time to do that. Why doesn't she have time to do this right now?
But I have to tell you, like, when you sent me the email to do this and it had like a time that I had to do something, I was like, oh fuck. Nothing to do. God damn. I haven't done anything in like 16 fucking days.
Yep.
And
I
I
want to check in quickly
I'm
sorry, go ahead, Jen.
I was just gonna say that I almost feel like I wished this. I was like on tour in a hotel room, like, please God, I wish these gigs would just end and I could just like sit in my house and smoke weed and eat takeout all day. Like, I wish that was an option. And I also said, after watching CNN, please kill all the old white men. So I feel like this is fault, and I apologize that I did not use my powers for good.
Well, Jen, that is the hardest part of having lost my sense of smell and being a bit under the weather, is that I'm quarantined and I don't feel like it makes smart health sense to drink or smoke weed, which I am dying to do both, and I'm sitting here sober as a daisy, and I don't like it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You won't be able to taste it anyway.
Ben.
Yes, Jane.
Bone broth. Takes you to a new place.
Jamie, you've ruined me for bone broth forever.
That's genius.
Let me just say, Jamie, I want you guys all watching at home to know how brave Jamie Kennedy is being as our hot tub correspondent, because he too is afraid of the water and he's doing it for us.
I am. And guys, I don't have a vacation story, but I got an early fame story, which is early back in the right after I did Scream. I got an independent movie, and I took out a nice stand-in. You know what stand-in is? Not the actual actress, but the person who stands in when they're lighting for the actress. And I took her to a nice restaurant, and she said, "Hey, you're really funny in that movie Scream." And I said, "Thank you." And she says, "You are real cute." And I said, "Yeah." And she ordered a lobster, and then she ordered truffle mash, and we kept talking, and she's like, "Yeah, you're real cute." I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, But that Skeet Ulrich is real fuckable, huh?
Did you say at the end, Jimmy?
Awful.
Yeah, guys, that's my life. I would love to hang around, but my testicles are turning into chunk light tuna. So
Oil, which is what's
I
weird.
can't wait to see you again. You're my only friends I have, except some DMs here and there.
Thank
for
you,
checking
Jamie.
in, Jamie Kennedy. Our pool
Much loved, everybody. Please be safe and stay the fuck in, unless you gotta go out for a second.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
For
Thank you
checking in from
so
us.
much.
And by the way, I
Our
want
intrepid
to
reporter.
say, great news for the show. In addition to all the Venmos and the super chats coming in, we actually just got a sponsor, Bone Broth. So Bone Broth is now sponsoring the show.
It's not a brand of bone broth. It's just bone broth.
Just it's
all
the bone broth
broth.
industry. You know how
Bone
like
broth.
there are commercials for like avocados, and we're
Or
like, yeah, we
aluminum.
fucking know what avocados are.
Yeah.
No, it's Jamie Kennedy's bone broth. We know that this is all a ploy by Jamie Kennedy to infect the world with this bone broth.
From the people who brought you Scream and the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, it's Jamie Kennedy's bone broth. Bone broth and the sweet flavor of Jamie Kennedy. Look no further.
The commercial, and the commercial is just someone eating the bone broth going, boy, Skeet Ulrich is fuckable, huh?
My God, you guys are awesome.
By the way, we did, speaking of awesome, we did get another Venmo. Kathy Henry just threw in another $20 and said, Jen Cobra's the best, from Gator to the Goose. And by the way,
that's my friend Gator.
Oh, hell yeah. And by the way, for those of you supporting the show, if you super chat or Venmo in the next 10 minutes, you get your own can of Jamie Kennedy's bone broth. It comes
in a can? It comes in a can?
In a can. Actually, originally it was supposed to come in a box, but they decided that, that would be a little much. So.
I think he packs it in old tuna cans. I think that's what it comes in.
Yeah, it comes in old tuna cans. They wash them out with cool water first, so that's important.
108 degrees. 108 degrees.
I think, Steve, I'm going to tell my vacation story, then I'm going to bring in Joe Zimmerman. We ready for that? You think we're good for that?
That sounds wonderful.
Hold on one second. Hold on, just one moment. I wanted to check in with Aida Rodriguez. We know you're no longer a cruise person. Are you a hot tub person? Do you like pools? Are you a water beach person?
I grew up going to the beach every weekend. My dad is Cuban. So every weekend we were at the beach, and I love the water. I love the water, which is why I was out there doing everything by myself while he was on the boat. I do it alone.
Would you break social distancing norms to join us next week with Jamie Kennedy in the hot tub?
Anybody has coronavirus is Jamie Kennedy.
Thank you.
He got coronavirus, the cooties. He got everything. I'm not going nowhere near
beard. It's all living in his beard.
I heard he got corona not from a person, but from the original bat.
And the bat was dressed like a puppy.
So my worst vacation story is my honeymoon to my second wife. We decided to go to San Antonio. I'd been there a couple times. The Riverwalk is really fun. There's a lot of bars. It's a really cool place to go to. And so it was New Year's Eve. We went to Vegas, and then after New Year's Eve, we were going to spend a week in San Antonio. And I got us a really nice suite at the hotel overlooking the Riverwalk. What I didn't know is 1 week a year, they close the Riverwalk to clean it, and all the bars close. So they take all the water out of the canal, and they close all the bars. And then, so day 2, my new wife got strep throat and the flu, and we just sat in the hotel room for 7 days, and it was awful. So I never knew if the thing was closed, so I wasn't mad she was sick, or if she got sick, so she wouldn't be mad that I picked the thing that was closed. That was my plan. So I don't know.
Did you get strep throat too?
No, I don't get sick.
So you guys didn't have sex?
No, we fucked a lot. I just don't get sick. That's the thing that I do. I'm telling you, it's whiskey,
Wait,
man.
you don't get sick? What is? I need like follow up.
I've not been sick in 25 years. I do not get sick. I don't get the flu. I don't get strep throat. I don't get
And you
colds,
just
I don't
say
get
it
anything.
like this and still don't get sick?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't,
I've been
don't
told-
ask
I've-
for more details. They will not come. It makes no sense.
What? I
think
mean,
I don't eat fruits and vegetables. I drink all the time. I eat nothing but chicken fingers and pizza. My cholesterol is 117 and I don't get sick. I don't know what it is either, but fucking whatever, man. I think I was built
You know
to be a
what? You know
boxer.
what it is? Here, I know what it is. There was this old computer game when I was a kid. There was a Winter Games where like one of the things was ice skating, and we figured out that actually if you have your ice skater fall the maximum number of times, there's a glitch in the game where for some reason you get all 10s. And that's what Bowers does in his life.
I will give you that. I will give you that. Are we ready for our next?
You have to be living a certain kind of way for a parasite not to even want you as a host.
That's probably what it is. It's like when World War Z, when the disease won't attack the sick people. Maybe that's what it is.
We need to put you in a hospital. Like, just send you in. Like, no mask, no gloves, no nothing. You just keep like bringing COVID patients and throwing them on that ship that they got out there. Awesome.
Bowers just volunteered to be a human ventilator and just breathe into the mouths of anybody who has COVID-19.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
All right, are we ready for our second comedian? Are we ready for another comedian, guys? Are we ready for that?
Ready for our
Ready.
second
All right. So this next guy, also very funny, toured with Brian Regan. You've seen him on the Tonight Show. They call him Quarantine Joe. Go for Joe Zimmerman, everybody. Give Joe a big hand.
Thank you. This is the first I've spoken out loud in 72 hours, so I hope the words come out. It is wonderful to be here. That's the first time I've ever said that into a microphone and meant it. I was listening to NPR because, obviously, I don't like NPR as much as I look like I like NPR, but I do like it. And apparently, it's been a really hard. Apparently, it's been a really hard month for the polyamory community. Did you guys know? Polyamory, that's what the new kids are doing, where you can ethically give the coronavirus to multiple partners. Communicated about it a whole lot over Skype. Bowers knows what I'm talking about. So this has been a bad month also to get ghosted. That's hard. That is very hard right now. Nobody has any reason not to check their phone. People say, oh, I got ghosted, what a dick. But the opposite of being ghosted would be if somebody firmly tells you to your face exactly why they never want to talk to you again. And I've experienced both. I have to say, ghosting underrated.
So funny.
It's not when somebody disappears, but you should try having your flaws expressed. It's nice to learn about all the random companies that have my email address. I found out Arby's has my back. That was nice. The laser tag plate is keeping things real sterilized. I got an email from a collision center in Virginia, Kraft Collision Center family. And it was good to hear from them. If I'm ever in a collision again in Virginia, I will make sure to get towed to them, as long as that is once again the closest collision center to where my car accident was.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't feel I don't feel old, but I recently, walking through the park alone, had my first urge to identify a bird. I was like, is that a whippoorwill? And I was like, why do I care? And then I just happened to have a bird book in my fanny pack. I was like, what is going on? I actually met a professional birder. They call themselves birders. And I said, that sounds like a fun job, giving bird tours. And he goes, well, you get a lot of guys swinging their dicks around. And I'm like, are we still talking about birds? And he said that there's a lot of guys that like to brag about how many birds they've seen. And my favorite part is how you verify if you've seen a bird is you just say that you saw it. So if anybody asks me, I'm going to say I've seen every bird. Prove I haven't. You know? The blue-billed ibis. I was in Coney Island. Go to Coney Island. Yeah, I was surprised. Weird here. Check. And then I realized a more fun game to play with a serious bird watcher would be to go too low with your bird number. Just be like, yeah, I've only seen 2. Seen more than 2. Nope, just pigeons and crows. How long have you 5 years. Yeah, I am really I don't know if I'm looking in the wrong places or what. Nuggets can't. If so, that would be 3. Hey, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's my comment.
Joe Zimmerman. I know we had a couple of technical issues there. Joe's mic was cutting out a little bit, and also someone apparently was typing on a 19th century typewriter. I do not know how loud that was.
I think they were playing winter games on their Commodore 64, Steve. I think that's what was happening. They were trying to make their speed skater fall down and get a 10.
Yeah, very possibly. So the tip jar is now open for Joe. Throw in a couple bucks, and with every couple bucks we have, you get a free can.
Yes.
Wow. Bone broth.
So much free time.
Department, whip that up real quick.
I like the pre-COVID Jamie picture.
Yeah, look, it's the picture on the can. It's gonna be a good picture, okay?
It can be like the section of the show that's like the soup, but it's bone broth, and it's
yes.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the broth.
The broth,
this is
exactly.
So meaty.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
So anyway,
guys, very weirdly, Steve, sorry to interrupt, but we just got a PayPal $1,000 from Jamie Kennedy for bone broth.
Genius.
So, by the way, you got me really excited that someone PayPal'd us $1,000. So speaking of that, if you want to tip Joe, throw a couple bucks in. The Venmo is at the top right of the screen. Was that the top right or the top left? I don't know. We get flipped sometimes. But the Venmo is on the screen. Also, laughfromhome.com is on the screen, so you can PayPal us. And you can just throw us a super chat. So if you want to do that and support the show, that would be a wonderful thing. That is how our guests get paid. So that said, Queen Rachel, do we have any?
Our
it looks
non-binary
like we have some
queen.
coming in. Yeah, non-binary queen.
Yeah.
King Rachel, do we have any?
Queen, please.
Do we have any coming in?
Just one for Joe so far. We got $5 from Revel, who commented just the ghost emoji.
Nice.
Good callback. Also a comment on the Facebook about Bowers never getting sick from Justin Lane. He is Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, and I agree, except for everything about the way that he looks.
Jacket is so badass, Bowers. I love your jacket.
Thank you.
Always.
I love how the person who laughed the hardest at that comment was Bauer's girlfriend, Kristen.
We also got a lot of entries for the game as well.
Yeah, and which we'll do in a bit. But also, by the way, Bowers, how is it that you're both unbreakable and also broke?
Well, look, I've been planning for this the whole time. You guys with savings accounts and stock portfolios. Who's laughing now, motherfucker? This is changing my life, not at all. You know what I mean? Like sitting home by myself drinking beer is what I've been doing for years. We're good.
Bowers, I don't know if you know this, but the stock market tanked, but our bank accounts didn't. Like the bank account chart didn't go down.
What my buddy Tony said one time, he said he's on the chat room. He goes, What's that account you get when you stop drinking? I said, a savings account. So I don't know what that is.
Okay. No, I'm just saying that money in the bank didn't become worth less. I don't know how little you know about finance right now, but
give
if
it a
anyone's
month,
ever
dude.
saved money,
Give it a month. Buy weed, toilet paper, water. Give it a month, and we'll see where your precious money is, Steve.
I got my sticking by his theory.
I got plenty of toilet paper. I'm looking for eggs.
Yeah.
I will trade.
We have a carton.
Eggs normally go $10,000 to freeze them, and now you're just trading them for toilet paper. I love that.
we got another Venmo. We got another Venmo coming in for Joe. $15 from Savannah Martin. Thank you very much, Savannah, a frequent supporter of the show, and a fan of today's Queen Rachel. So thank you guys for
I'm crushing it.
Sending some chats in. We appreciate that. By the way, the game, for those who have joined us late, tell us about the game again, Ben.
So the game this week, the challenge question to our audience, anybody can participate for free, but for $5 or more at Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat, you're eligible for the prize of 12 comedy albums and a free ticket into our video audience for a future episode. It is tell us about a vacation that went awry. Some bad experience happened on vacation, something you didn't expect. All of our comedians and celebrity guests and hosts will judge who the winner is. And our video chat audience is also eligible for the prize. So get yours in right now. I'm curious, Aida Rodriguez, do you have any weird hobbies? If it's bird watching, or what sort of weird stuff do you do that people wouldn't expect from you?
I rock climb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love.
You're already very tall, so that makes it less challenging because you're already halfway there.
Nah, no, bouldering and canyoneering. I actually went up. I did Yosemite. I went up 400 feet with no ropes.
What?
Whoa! I actually rock climb, but I only do it to my own height, so it's pretty easy.
I've always wondered, why would people do that? Why are people going 400 feet? Why are you risking your life? What if you slip?
I'm adrenaline junkie. I mean, I bungee jumped, I zip line. I'm gonna skydive this year if I ever go out again.
You should watch my skydiving story before you do that.
Ben,
you know
come
what?
on.
Look here, Jen Katrina the Corona. I'm good.
Ben, her cartoon was canceled. She has nothing left. Let her do this, okay?
I got it.
The cartoon is gonna go. The cartoon they don't need people for.
Oh no, the cartoon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can voice that shit from anywhere. That's true. By the way, we have aside from a couple of general chats coming in. Devin Burgess throws us $20 on Venmo and says, "I want 3 cans of broth on its way to you." And then Holly Pendleton throws in $20, says, "Comedy is getting me through this. Much appreciated." We got a couple game entries. Stephanie Cormier threw in $20 Canadian on PayPal. Very much appreciated. Julie Graniero, which I think we have you on the live stream, threw in $20 on the PayPal as well. And then Z Bunster, who has been supporting every single show, very much appreciated. Before the show, actually threw in $40 and says, "Paying in advance, please distribute as needed." Going to try to be in the live audience tonight. Got to stay focused, which we very much appreciate. Did you make it to the live audience, Z? Do we have you here?
I saw Z Bunster for a minute at the beginning, and then he had to bounce.
Oh, that's a shame. Z Bunster has been the show's biggest supporter. We very much appreciate that. Kicking in a couple bucks every day. Queen Rachel, what do we got coming in on the super chat?
Benefactor.
Yeah.
See here. Going back up to Joe. We also got $5 from Rhonda Van Landingham. She sends that over to Joe.
So Rhonda, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Yeah, Rhonda's been supporting the show throughout as well. And then we've got a bunch of contest entries, which is awesome. Are there any questions from anyone in the live audience that we have here?
Don't see any questions. I had one person say, Steve, I hope to get to see you in MKE.
That's Milwaukee. But Jared, I'm asking people on camera who can answer. So does anyone who's on camera?
I know Sammy has a vacation story who's in the audience, but I don't know if we're doing that yet or if we want to do just general.
Not yet. That's the last thing we're gonna do. So
I also have a vacation story if you guys need it.
Do we have any? Do we have anyone from the live audience that wants to participate before we go into the game? Dave Adler to the rescue. Here we gotta unmute your mic for a second here.
It's still muted.
Okay, no, now it's unmuted. We got you.
Okay.
We got you. So to the rescue, a freaking supporter of the show, been joining us in the front row here. Oh, your collection of toys behind you has grown.
Well, yeah.
So what is your question?
So in regard to these, I forgot to notice. Well, I didn't really notice the first time I had the Pops. This is Tom Hanks. So it's kind of an ironic thing that I had him because it was a comedy thing, but because he did test positive for Corona, I grew the Tom Hanks collection behind there.
Well, Dave, I'm really glad that each of those
6 feet apart.
Yeah, but I'm glad they have the protective cellophane in between them, which is really important.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I thought it was cool that I got to see Brian Regan's opener since I won't be able to see him in April. But the actual question.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, and the actual question
is that Josh?
No, it's Joe Zimmerman.
Joe.
Yeah. Oh, did I say Joe? Or yeah. Anyway, so I'm wearing 2 sports teams that I like that 2 of the hosts actually like too. So the Bengals. So I feel your pain, and also and so also the Rumble Ponies, which is actually the Mets in Binghamton. They changed their name to the Rumble Ponies, and some of the other team name examples that they were thinking about were the Gobblers, the Stud Muffins, and the Timber Jockeys. What sports teams?
Somebody is smoking the good shit.
Exactly. What minor league sports team names do you find hilarious and why? Or can you think of some sports team names that you think would be great instead of what they actually are?
My favorite one, absolutely, is Fort Wayne minor league baseball team is the Tin Caps. And the reason they're the Tin Caps is because they did a contest and the winner was the Potheads. And they couldn't call it the Potheads. So, so Bowers has the hat right there. Excellent. So, they have the tin cap on. So they call them the Tin Caps. But we all know it's the Potheads. And it's also an apple wearing it because that's the bomb.
I just got that.
So that is.
No. Johnny Appleseed is from Fort Wayne, and apparently this crazy person, the guy that planted all the apple trees all over the place, he wore a tin pot on his head while he fucking planted these trees. So that's what it's about. So that's why it's the Potheads, and then turned.
That is what they say it's about.
That's cool.
Here's what I don't understand about minor league sports. Of course, you need them to develop talent, but why does anybody go to the games? Why does anybody go
to get drunk? Why does anybody do anything?
Ben, why does anyone watch us instead of just watching Brian Regan? Like that's
you're breaking up. I didn't catch that. You're freezing. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to see their relatives because a lot of times they're going to see. Yeah. My brother played minor league baseball, and
that's sweet.
We had a real big family, so he always looked like he had a crowd.
I got to see Tim
That's the
Tebow
only
attempt to
people
play.
that it makes sense. Like people that are buying tickets to stand-up shows with like only open micers and a couple bringers. It's like, you know, in the same, like maybe in like random towns that makes sense, but in LA or New York, for the same money, you could go and see 7 headliners.
But Ben, it's the idea. It's seeing the person before they get there. Yeah. Like I got to see Albert Pujols when he was in the minors, and that was freaking awesome. Because like,
yeah, but how many people did you see that were not Albert Pujols to get that one?
But people who love baseball, people who really love baseball, they like the sport, and they like to see the talent developing, and they like to call who's gonna go to the major leagues, go to those farm league games. Plus, a lot of bitches who want to look for the future and want to make sure that they get a good baby daddy to take care of the bills. They don't.
Do you think?
Well, I don't know what y'all. That's why I don't know what y'all are talking about. I was over at the softball field.
Yeah, of course you were.
You know what? The softball teams are just the lady, whatever the hell the boys were. So
some of us will run between the two.
I had to go through a lot of players till I got to fuck Albert Pujols. So it's really important.
Apparently, I have never been so wrong about anything, and I've learned a lot today. Thank you.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw Jamie Kennedy when he was first in a kiddie pool. You know, it was.
Okay, let's do the contest, guys. Can we do the contest?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Absolutely.
So,
okay, so
we have one in the audience. We want to do the audience one first.
Yeah, let's do the audience one first.
So Sammy, you want to say yours? Sammy, go for your bad vacation.
I can say mine. All right. So one time I was down in Florida. I went on a vacation, and I got asked on a date with this guy, and I didn't really know him, so I told him that we could meet somewhere that I knew on the beach, and we could have dinner. So he told me this place, and I said, okay. So I get to this place, and he comes up, and then I notice that there's like other people also coming up on this date. And I realized that it's his parents. And like that freaked me out a lot. I was like, okay, that's okay. We can figure this out. And then his grandpa came, his aunts came. I mean, it was a whole family affair.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so anyway, his grandpa stood up and said, I'm so happy that we all can be here on this day, that we just celebrated the life of my wife.
Holy shit.
And I'm so happy that we can all be together right now having dinner here.
You got invited to a funeral.
I got invited on a first date to a
funeral. Oh my God.
That's supposed to be. And then it just wasn't. It was death.
Oh my God.
As a Floridian, yeah. That's exactly how it's supposed to go.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's all I got.
How was the rest of the date?
I left as soon as possible. I mean, I skedaddled right out of there.
Oh, you didn't also marry him?
I did not. No, you got me on that one, girl.
We got a couple entries coming in.
Did you ever get to ask him? I was curious why he did that, or did you never get to ask him?
I left. I ran so fast. Like, wow. We didn't get to talk very much. I think, there's no reason to do that. You just got to be.
You already know where that's headed. Yeah.
I know. Like, I didn't have to ask why he did it. He did it.
He's just sitting there being like, well, he's like, they gave me a +1. I don't know anyone down here, so.
You gotta be me to stick around.
But it wasn't like a wedding. It was a funeral. You need a +1 to a funeral? Like,
but at least he didn't have to meet his mom.
I did.
Oh my God.
His grandma. He didn't meet his grandma. Yes.
Queen Rachel.
Nick was there though. It was there. It's so funny.
She was there in spirit.
Jared Berenstein.
Yes.
Queen Rachel, Jared Berenstein.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any that you want to read off before we go into the paid ones, into the contest entries? Do we have any
let's see here. We got just a super chat came in. Savannah Martin, $5, agrees with Ben. F, slightly above average people. I guess that's going to see the minor leagues game thing.
Yeah.
A couple of regular entries for the contest.
Before we do the contest, also I just saw that Brad Fredrickson threw in $5 and said, "OMG, that Brian Regan line." Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. And Jennifer Kofed threw in $5, says, "Gotta go, but love you guys. Love you back, Jen. Thanks for supporting the show." And so Jared, let's do some non-contest entries first.
Okay.
Or some non-eligible ones, and then we'll move into the ones where we got to vote on. What do we got?
Okay. 2 years ago, I got sunburnt so badly on my chest, back, and shoulders, arms in Cozumel that I couldn't find a non-painful position to sleep. Kept spinning around to adjust my position like a rotisserie chicken. That was from Rebecca H.
By the way, Rebecca H, as a redhead, never heard anything more relatable in my life. Go ahead, Jared.
Cool Anime Girl says, me and my parents went to Puerto Rico to visit family. On my mom's side, my grandfather needed help with the house, so my dad volunteered, fell off a ladder and broke his ankle. You could see bone.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
By the way, that is how you make Jamie Kennedy's bone broth.
You can see the bone, so you know it's good.
Someone named CMN Guyen 88 wrote on Twitch, my worst vacation story was when I went to Nam and had diarrhea. Also goddamn Nam, man, so many bad things happen. That was the day my family decided to climb different mountains. Every mountain I had to power walk up the stairs because anything beyond a power walk, I would have shat myself. At one point, I was so sweaty, I wasn't sure if it was sweat running down my leg or shit water.
By the way, if you had just read that and not told us where it was, I would have been like, that's from the Twitch stream, right? That's definitely Twitch.
I thought you meant Nam. We'd known that was a Nam.
Yeah.
That's a Nam story.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you want to do some of the paid contest entries here?
Absolutely. Just don't want to forget the super chats are coming in right now. Bowers, I love you, and Orange is the New Black. And, Razor gave $5. Razor also said, I grew up with 3 older sisters, 2 of which are twins. Every vacation went awry for me.
Twins.
Okay.
That's how twins come.
This is so these are the paid entries for the contest. Ron Gould.
So comics keep track because we're gonna vote.
Ron Gould, on vacation in North Carolina, 6 years old, late 80s, crawled under beach condo, grabbed a live wire and electrocuted myself. It's one of my earliest memories. I'm surprised you can remember anything.
I can imagine they had more memories before that, but then that just wiped them the fuck out.
It's a hard reset.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Control Alt Delete right there.
Shasta Hedman said, went to North Carolina for a vacation wedding. My 3-year-old stripped naked and stole a golf cart during the wedding ceremony. Mother-in-law was watching him and had fallen asleep. A 3-year-old stealing a golf cart.
Naked. Did y'all hear that part?
Physically
Naked.
possible.
Wow.
Revel says, on my honeymoon, on our way to a remote resort, our taxi driver ran over a politician. The next day, riots were breaking out. The U.S. Embassy had to help us escape the country.
Yeah. That went so far.
I want to know what politician, and I want to know what country. I want to know what international incident was started.
That's Conrad, one we could look up. All these others, we just have to take their word like they're birds.
Oh, no.
Call back, Steve.
Thank you.
2 more. We got Conrad Starsider. We went camping. The hot water tank at home flooded the basement. We went to call home. When we got back to camp, my dog was dead from electrocution. Wow.
Whoa.
Electrocution stories. And lastly, Emily Koenig, tore shoulder muscle in Vegas, 7 hours in the emergency room. In airport, fell down escalator wearing a sling. Boyfriend was detained by police because they thought he pushed me.
Wow.
Hashtag me too.
I also have one more that came in through the Venmo. Sally B, a frequent supporter of the show, said, my parents took us on a road trip as kids. I fell asleep in my sister's lap on a long winding road. She puked all over my hair and into my ear. We pulled over and my mom had to dump a gallon of water over my head. I woke up from my nap in confusion, tears, and anger.
My God, puked in your ear. Oh, I'd rather have my mouth open. No.
I actually had one more. I went on vacation with my family. We went to this like beach resort, and I met this girl and I invited her to dinner. And then my family was there.
Are you stealing my story?
Yeah, 100% am.
Are you telling my story?
Were you the guy I went on the date with?
Just another perspective, you know. I mean, you wouldn't remember. You stormed out of there. You weren't even paying attention.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's my grandmother, and then I'm also losing my new girlfriend. I mean,
I'm so sorry. Sore subject. Sorry.
That reminds me of that time I was having sex on a gay cruise. And
the guy kept making eye contact with the comedian.
Yeah, completely ruined it.
All right, so okay, panel. We're gonna take a vote here. There are some great ones here, as always. We appreciate you guys playing the game. It's always so much fun. Thanks for the super chats and all that stuff. But that said, we need to decide a winner now. So let's start our special guest with the first vote. Who do you think wins?
Anytime a politician gets ran over by a car, I'm in. So
all right, politician. One vote for politician getting assassinated. So in a very creative way. Okay, Jen Kober, what's your vote?
Yes, international incident. People get run over. Trees are stopped. Flights aren't landing. Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. All right, Joe Zimmerman, what's your vote?
Well, I think the dead politician could have been a fun experience too. So I'm going to take the puke in the ear.
All right, excellent. Puke in the ear. The puke, 1 vote. Assassination, 2 votes. Now, Bowers, what's your vote?
Well, a politician's good, starting a whole coup with your Uber driver running over a guy, but I really think that the lady tore her shoulder, then fell down the escalator, and thought her boyfriend pushed her. Like, that's like, you're already hurt, and then you fell down again, and now your boyfriend's in prison because he pushed you, and then you have to say he didn't push you, and that's the whole thing. So I'm going with that one. I'm going with escalator fall.
Excellent. Glebe, what do you got?
This is a tough one. Great entries. I like a lot the naked baby stealing a go-kart. I think my vote goes to accidentally involved in a coup. That does not happen every day.
3 votes for that.
Naked baby in a golf cart is hard to beat.
It is hard to beat, but so that one.
But an international coup does it. International
coup does it. But I actually, my vote won't matter on this one. It's not a tiebreaker. But the boyfriend one is the falling down that much. That was one. It wasn't going to get my vote until your boyfriend was accidentally accused of domestic violence, and I'm like, that's going to put a damper on any vacation, I think.
That's my favorite.
So yeah, there were so many great ones, but it looks like the assassination won. So the assassinated politician started a coup and had to get off the island. Won. Jared, if you get the information of the person who submitted, and to the rescue in the chat,
it could really be good if we could get a naked baby to run over a politician.
I'm gonna say, can we get that person to take the ride in DC right now?
Naked baby, headed for
so to the rescue threw in also Uber coup new service. So
Uber coup, I like that. Uber coup.
And when he's Queen Rachel Jarrett, when getting the information, please try to ask who indeed was run over. I want to know the historical background. We can Google it to save the audience next
as
episode.
much information as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow when they're in the audience.
We need truth awesome. Here, damn it.
You folks were absolutely wonderful. Queen Rachel, do we have any last minute super chats coming in?
No last minute super chats. Nothing else came in the meantime.
All right, we got a last minute Venmo. Hayden Lemaster, who is a friend of the show. He does all our graphics. He threw in here in Washington, we go to a lot of minor league games because they're probably a better team than the Mariners. That is a solid point. So I'd imagine what is it? The Tacoma Pickles, I think, is the team in Tacoma. I think they're probably doing real well right now. Just,
once again, I would
another fan base.
I would just like to apologize again for all the hard words I said about open micers and minor league players. My mistake.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right. With that said, can we do some plugs? So our comedians, first and foremost, Joe Zimmerman, where can they find out more about you?
I'm doing a lot of silly videos on Instagram at Joe Zimmerman on Instagram is where to hit me. And I have a podcast called A Great Listening Experience.
Excellent. So check out his podcast and his Instagram. Joe's Instagram is fantastic and has a lot of his stand up there as well. And then Jen Kober, where can they find out more about you?
I have a website, jenkober.com. I am starting a new online show called Stories for My Dog. We're doing our first show on Tuesday, March 31st. It's already sold out, but we're going to be doing more. So stay tuned. You can find out all the information at jenkober.com.
Excellent. Special guest, Aida Rodriguez.
Oh, so you can find me at Funny Aida, AIDA. And on Fridays, I just started last week, I'm hosting an open mic. And we work out jokes. Last weekend I worked out jokes with Tiffany Haddish and Afion Crockett. So every week, every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, I have three comedians come on and we work out jokes and we let the audience chime in. You can find me at Funny AIDA.
That is amazing that people get to go see Tiffany Haddish do an open mic. That is not a thing that would happen without a pandemic, for sure.
Again, I'm sorry about what I said about open mic.
All right, and with that, Chris Bowers, part of the quarantine.
At Bowers Comedy on all your social media needs. Chris Bowers on Facebook. My new album, pre-sale, started last Friday. Unpopular Opinions, Chris Bowers on Unpopular Opinions. You can check it out on Amazon or iTunes. Go buy the pre-sale. It comes out April 7th.
Excellent. And Ben Gleed.
A couple of things I'm excited to announce for the first time right now, not even on my social media yet, that I have been asked to be part of the lineup for Laugh Aid taking place on April 4th.
Whoa.
The live stream along
Super
with
nice.
Thank you. Eliza Schlesinger, Mark Maron, Bert Kreischer, Anthony Jeselnik, Howie Mandel, Ray Romano, a lot of great people. So
name dropper.
Yep. Hope you guys tune in and support this show, of course, every day, rather. It raises money through the Martin Grant to help out comedians who have lost income during this COVID-19 crisis, but so is also Laugh Aid raising money for a similar cause. So please check that out. My podcast, Last Week on Earth. This week, my guest is Aida Rodriguez, our celebrity guest here today. The episode is out right now. It was the best time of your life, right, Aida?
Yeah, we had fun. It was great.
It was a good conversation for sure. And then reminder that all of you, part of Isolation Nation right here, watching the Social Distancing Social Club, we're off Monday. But Tuesday, our celebrity guest is Nikki Glazer, and announcing now Wednesday, our celebrity guest is Fortune Feimster. So the lineups are just fire every day. Please join us. And that's it. Follow me on YouTube, please. I've got a few more after I begged about it last time. Chrissy has something.
I have something real quick. Okay, so I just, for some reason, was not following Joe Zimmerman on Instagram yet. I just followed him. I'm 9,999. So if one person wants to go be number 10,000 for Joe, we can do that.
Yeah. And if you want to make it really special, if a couple people want to unfollow so other people can also on 10,000.
Oh yeah.
Also, Ben, congratulations on Laugh Aid. That's amazing. Similarly, I would like to announce I was booked to host Laugh AIDS. It's a much smaller charity. Trying to find a cure. So
we're gonna party like it's 1987.
Yeah. You guys, as always, isolation. What's up, Ben?
Look, I was just gonna say the cure for Laugh AIDS is when Bowers gets off stage.
It's oh shit. Ben has actually just been canceled from Laugh Aid for that joke. It's real sad.
It happens that quick now.
Yeah, we're all connected now.
All
you guys
virtual.
were amazing as always. We love you guys so much. We love that you've been supporting the show, that you've been supporting the comedians. It is, this is the paid gig in town. This is the comedy club. So thank you for joining us 5 nights a week. We'll be off tomorrow. We'll see you Tuesday night with Nikki Glazer. Whether it is Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, the most important thing, if you can't donate, we totally get that. A lot of people are out of work right now, us included. So if you can't donate, please just like the stream. All you need to do, hit that thumbs up, share it with people, whatever the icon is in whatever way you're watching. Please do that. It means a hell of a lot. So hit those thumbs up as much as you can. It'll help the algorithm let people know to tune in. Share it on your Instagram once you all follow Joe Zimmerman, because we need to round numbers are
He's at 10. He's at 10 already.
Let's make it 10,000. You know what? He needs to be at 10,001. I think that's important. So if you guys, anyway, the point is, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting the comedians. We love you, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Taylor, take us home.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.